gosh. There will be plenty of turkey.
Well, can you see from a distance, like standing there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think I've got a mic
So it's a dissonance. What you're playing and what I'm singing is dissonance.
that's different. Yeah, I could play the E flat if I remember. Let's do it again, okay?
No? Because that's a flat, and then it goes in this result.
See, it's not marked on mine.
Well, see,
Yeah.
because it's an accidental. So the very next thing, it would go back to natural.
Yeah, right, that is. But the E flat you have on there, I don't have.
Oh, this E flat?
Yeah,
You've got
see,
it.
I've got an E, there's
This
the
guy's E flat.
G flat.
The G flat, you don't. See, that's what I'm saying. It's crunchy right there.
It's weird.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of St. Louis. My name is Nita Penfold. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm a member of the Worship Committee. We are glad you could join us this Sunday, either in person or online. If you are a visitor or newcomer, I'd like to extend a special welcome. And if you are new to our congregation, be sure to fill out a newcomer form found in the live stream or in the lobby of the church. After service, you are invited to join us for a simple lunch downstairs in Fellowship Hall. We welcome families with children. Families with children are invited to connect with our Minister of Congregational Life, Reverend Sabrina Trupia, for more information about our religious education program. If you are attending online, you can connect with each other in the chat. And don't forget that the link for virtual coffee hour can be found in your weekly e-news. There are several important announcements this morning. It's why we start a little early coming out. The RE class is going on a field trip to River's Edge at the St. Louis Zoo today, so meet in the lobby. So if you see any kids, you send them to the lobby. Today is our first of the month lunch meal together in Fellowship Hall. We would like everyone here to feel welcome to come to this lunch. It's a simple meal to visit with each other while we eat. We ask that you clean up after yourself when you are finished and consider a free will donation to the basket on the table. Our whole life sexuality education for middle school age kids is going to be offered in January 2026. We will offer 2 parent orientation times, December 14th and January 11th. For more information, email Reverend Sabrina or watch for an announcement in your email. And thank you for raising over $200 for UNICEF last Sunday. Well done. Yay. And thank you so much for your generous donations to our October food drive. As of November 1st, SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, ended for millions of Americans. You can help by stocking the little free pantry in the church parking lot, as well as donating items for the Trinity Food Bank. Members impacted by this benefits change can reach out to Reverend Kim. Join ERDA, Earth Reverence Dedicants Extraordinaire, today at 11:30 a.m. to celebrate Samhain. Gather in the chapel as we share memories and reflections of loved ones no longer with us. Looking for a way to help with worship that doesn't involve singing or public speaking? The AV team is for you. Training takes less than 15 minutes. See Mo Hurst, our AV technician and digital content manager. And I'm inviting Margaret up for a special announcement.
Good morning. Even as the Major League Baseball season ended last night with an exciting extra innings Game 7 of the World Series, your baseball fun need not end. Join us on Saturday, November 15th for our Field of Dreams Build It So They Will Come fundraiser. The doors open at 5:30 for an evening of games, traditional stadium food, including beer, and a short live auction. There will, of course, also be dinner and activities for children. A new feature of this event is the opportunity to make a 1, 2, or 3-year multi-year pledge to the Building Fund. We hope you'll all be able to join us. There are many more details in where? Your newsletter. You have to scroll down a little bit, but it's in there, as well as the forms for registering for the event and volunteering. If you prefer to do that sort of stuff in person, Sarah Vaughn is down in Fellowship Hall to take care of that today. Hope you can come.
Now please center yourself in preparation for worship. Welcome to this religious community where we affirm the worth and dignity of all who enter. We gather in community, understanding we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, identity, and theology. Our values invite us to a shared journey of truth and meaning-making. And together we foster a spirit of gratitude and generosity so that all may feel welcome and all can thrive. We are glad you are with us this morning. Please enjoy our prelude, Ombra Mai Fu, by G.F. Handel and performed by Alan Hoffman.
Good morning. I am the Reverend Kim Mason. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as lead minister. Our theme for the month of November is nurturing gratitude. On this All Souls Sunday, we remember all those in our lives who have died yet remain in our hearts. Our opening words come from the Reverend Heather Daniels. They once dwelled among us, the people of memory. They who knew us, they who taught us, they who hurt us, they who loved us. They touch our lives time and again through their presence and their absence, through familiar scents and favorite songs, through old stories and renewed sorrow. As the earth turns and leaves fall, we reach back to renew the bonds between us. With hearts and hands open, we hold on to love, ever stronger than death. We reach back in gratitude and understanding. Without our time together, the pain and the joy, we would never be who we are today. We would have little to pass on ourselves. Without fear, and with thanksgiving, and with hope for all that awaits, we remember those who have gone before. We honor the circle of life and death, and our place within this sacred thread. Come, let us worship. Please rise as you are willing and able and join for our hymn of the month, number 326, All the Beauty We Have Known. Please be seated. In just a moment, Nita is going to read our chalice lighting, but I want to explain that we have a new chalice song this morning. It's going to be unfamiliar to everyone because today is its debut. Written by our own Chris Coker, Anna is here to help lead us through it. So after Nita lights the chalice, look for Anna's instruction.
With words of poet William Stafford. It could happen any time. Tornado, earthquake, Armageddon. It could happen. Or sunshine, love, salvation. It could, you know. That's why we wake and look out. No guarantees in this life, but some bonuses. Like morning, like now. May this light we now kindle awaken us to the blessings of this day, this morning, This moment of now we share together.
Good morning. So, this is a lovely piece that Chris has written, but it doesn't flow just like you would anticipate. So, what we're going to do is, Alan is going to play it through, I'm going to sing it once, and then we'll all sing it together. Fair?
Each week, we bring our joys and celebrations, sorrows and concerns with us to this community. When we share our news, both happy and sad, we nurture gratitude for all that is our life. This morning, in our community, well, that's not a sorrow, that's a celebration. I'm going to save that one for another minute. In our community this morning, we hold many worries unspoken. As a community, may we acknowledge these concerns with tenderness and compassion. May they be lighter going forward. And as a community, we also share our joys and celebrations with one another. Happy birthday, 75, to Pam Geppert. Woo! Woo! Thank you to Pam and Tom for a joyous celebration Saturday evening to honor this celebration and raise money for tornado relief. And we celebrate reduced pain. That's a follow-up from last week, and someone went to the pain clinic. I'm so glad that that worked out. There is a dance of joy that SNAP funds are going to be released. There is joy for seeing children of all ages discover the wonder of Halloween and neighbors coming together to make it happen. And appreciation for the normalcy of a 7-game competitive World Series. Woo! And the wonder of nature and an 8-point buck and 2 Missouri bluebirds on a walk this morning. We lift up these joys with gladness and celebration. May they be magnified because they are shared. With many joys and concerns remaining unspoken in our hearts and minds, please join in a spirit of prayer and mindful attention with words from the Reverend Michelle Collins. Spirit of life and love, holy within and among us, We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant, speak with voices shaped by languages we did not create, breathe free air that others died to protect. Every freedom we exercise, every opportunity we pursue, every moment of safety we enjoy carries the fingerprints of those who came before. Spirit of life, holy stillness, we remember ancestors of blood and of choice, known and unknown, who endured hardships we can barely imagine, so that we might inherit possibilities they could only dream of. We carry forward the hopes of enslaved people who chose love over bitterness, immigrants who crossed oceans for children they would never meet, activists who planted seeds in ground too hard for them to see blossom. Their struggles live in our bodies, their dreams in our daily choices, their unfinished work in our hands. May we honor their sacrifices, not through nostalgia, but through action, not through guilt, but with gratitude that moves our feet toward justice. Spirit of love, source of gratitude, help us become ancestors that future generations will thank. Planting trees whose shade we'll never rest in, fighting battles whose victories we won't live to see, loving this world forward with the same fierce hope that brought us here. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be. Our first reading is 1,000 Voices by Tanya E. Marquez. We have a recording of her sharing the reading.
A poem by Irago Ismail Diop. Every year, around this time, there is a distinctive smell in the air, and the trees sway like the whisper of 1,000 voices. That's how I know they are coming. At that point, The perpetual altar in my heart begins taking place outside of me for a few days, and it dances with joy at the thought of their coming. First, the table that will be the altar, a few boxes on top to create different levels. I begin to think about the pictures I am adding to my altar today. The beloved friend who didn't get to say goodbye. The one I loved, my grandparents. The cousin who left too soon. I allow myself to think about the ones whose pictures won't be on my altar, but that I still remember. The fragrance of the cempasúchil fills the air. Grandfather's sun-made flower, a ray of light guiding them back, calling them home. It is a long way here. It is good to have some food and drinks ready, so they may quench their thirst, so they may eat and gain strength for the way back. I love adding chocolate and drinking chocolate caliente. I imagine a moment of communion that transcends the world of the living. Once the altar is ready, I behold the site of this place of encounter. They will come and will know they are missed. All of the times we spent together, all of the memories come rushing to us. Our elders told us to remember is to live again. And that's what we do when we allowed ourselves to be surrounded by their presence and the stories of times we spent together. My family and I gather. We tell stories. We laugh. We also cry a little. We rejoice in their company. Their stories come alive in our telling, and so does the love we still feel. I have learned to listen more often to things and to beings, to listen to my heart that knows a different way of knowing. My heart knows that the dead aren't really dead. Their stories are perpetually being told by the world around us, like trees swaying, like the whisper of 1,000 voices. Let us end with a prayer. Boundless Spirit, open our minds, our hearts, and all of our senses to a different way of knowing. The knowing of the heart that recognizes love transcendent, love everlasting, love that never dies.
Here at First Unitarian, we also have a tradition of creating an altar. This morning, if you brought photos of loved ones, if you carry memories of beloveds who have gone before, Alan is going to play music, and we invite you to come forward with your pictures. There are also a multitude of natural items laying here. We want you to come forward and create our altar this morning with seasonal offerings. If you didn't bring a picture, but there is someone on your mind or heart, we have leaves and Sharpies for you to write their name and then just set it underneath a candle. If you want your beloved's name read out loud and did not submit it by email, there are also index cards where you can write those names and pass them to me for later on in our service. As Alan begins, I invite you forward. Remember them. The First Unitarian Church of St. Louis strives to be a welcoming congregation, inspiring lives of loving kindness and integrity by nurturing spirituality, building community, and advancing justice. Your contributions support the mission and ministry of this congregation in the St. Louis region and beyond. This morning's offering will now be received. This past spring, we lost the great oaks out front of our building. As we think about replanting them, I remember that the folks who planted them initially never grew to stand in their shade. For the folks who planted those trees, for the folks who built this building that we now sit in, we share our gratitude. And for your gifts this morning and every day, thank you.
Our second reading is Immortality by the Reverend Leslie Takahashi. In the daily weave of our lives, those who have died are still strong, guiding threads. Theirs is the golden glimmer, or perhaps the brilliant red, or the melancholy blue. Still, they are a part of the whole cloth of our lives. They are the ancestors, the goers before. Through this, we know immortality. In the hour-to-hour rush of our daily tasks, they travel with us through something they taught us, which is now ours to do. Through something they loved, which is now ours to carry out. Through something we shared, which is now ours alone, and yet not. Through this, we know immortality. In the minute-to-minute grasp of where we are, We remember the joys our departed gave us, which opened us up to hope, the sorrows we knew together, which taught us strength, the life shared, which is now ours to steward. Through this, we know immortality. In the second-to-second pulse of life, we sense the spirit of those we have loved and lost. This presence is too shy for naming, too amorphous for full knowing, and yet as real as the days we shared. Through this, we know immortality. They are more than remembered. They are memory itself. For what we love lives on in the way our beloved dead accompany us through our life. Their words and wisdom our guide, their humor our relief, their restless concern for the world our charge. Through this, we know immortality. Please rise as you are willing and able and join us for our hymn number 306, Sing of Living, Sing of Dying. Sorry.
This is another tricky hymn, and Alan asked me to help lead it, so just, do you want me to go through it? Or I'll just be singing. Huh? I'll do verse 1 and everybody does verse 2, okay? That sounds good. You gonna play it first? Okay.
Sometimes death is a good thing. When the tops of the garlic die off in the heat of summer, telling me the bulbs below are ready for harvest, that's a good thing. When the battery on my phone dies after too much time spent scrolling social media, That's a good thing. When the light dies on a summer evening and the bats come out to feast on mosquitoes, that too is a good thing. Sometimes death is a bad thing. When the last surviving member of an endangered species meets its end. When the battery on my phone overheats in the middle of navigating directions. When a preventable catastrophe, be it weather or war, brings death and destruction. When my grandfather died, it was a good thing. He had struggled with cancer for more than 10 years, the surgeons slowly carving away year after year, piece after piece, until the year they couldn't cut anymore, and all that remained was pain. At his funeral was grief, but also gratitude. Gratitude for a long life, almost 90. Gratitude that he was out of pain. Gratitude that we had all made the journey to see him before he died. When my friend Alandria died, it was a bad thing. She had struggled with an autoimmune disorder her whole life, slowly losing her mobility, but she continued to travel across the country for work and volunteer activities. That fall, she was in the hospital for a routine procedure when she unexpectedly died at the age of 41. At her memorial service was grief, but also gratitude. Gratitude for all she had done for Unitarian Universalism, gratitude for her friendship and her honesty, gratitude for her life. 13th century German philosopher Meister Eckhart famously said, "If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough." Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In the immediate grip of loss, it can be hard to find gratitude. And it is also possible to be grieving and grateful. Gratitude does not undo grief. They are companions. Grief and gratitude can share the same space in our hearts, writes Izzy Rowe, president of Bereaved Parents of the USA. One reflects the depth of our loss, while the other reminds us of the love that still surrounds us. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about letting them both have room in our lives. Even in the pain, there's space for thankfulness, for the love we've known and the memories we'll always carry. Gratitude is an emotion I often encounter with families planning memorial services. Whatever the cultural expression of grief for the family, be it buttoned up and contained, or openly weeping, or avoiding all feelings with a busy to-do list, family members who speak at memorial services almost universally share how grateful they were to have had the loved one in their life. The ability to reflect on appreciation in the midst of grief is one of the keys to resilience. According to Funeral Basics, experiencing gratitude in the midst of loss shows that life is good and worth living, because it helps us to foster relationships, to recognize sources of goodness, and supports our physical and mental well-being. The hard part really is being present to both, to feeling the grief and the gratitude all co-mingled together. The work is to carry grief in one hand and gratitude in the other and be stretched large by them, says psychotherapist and author Francis Weller. How much sorrow can I hold, he asks. That's how much gratitude I can give. Grief keeps the heart fluid and soft, which makes compassion possible. When my grandfather died, his minister preached gladness at the funeral. Gladness that my grandfather was receiving his final reward in life, everlasting with Jesus. His theology said that my grandfather's death was a blessing, not because he was relieved of his suffering, but because he went to heaven. In the eulogy, he said the point of religion was to know where you were going when you die. Y'all had to keep a straight face. Friends, I don't know where we're going when we die, or if we go anywhere at all. I am so much more interested with the life that we live here and now, rather than the possibility of life everlasting. And I believe in my heart that heaven will exist here on earth for everyone when we create the beloved community. And I am grateful for the ways that we live into that dream. Asking someone to be grateful instead of sad is a form of spiritual bypassing that says grief isn't okay. We can hold both. As Unitarian Universalists, one of our 7 values is generosity, which says we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. This is why we call our memorial services celebrations of life. Our UU theology says each life has value and no one is condemned to hell. Thus, we are grateful for the life lived. And in grief and sorrow, we want to celebrate all that person brought to the world and to us. Gratitude and grief, not gratitude or grief. There's a beautiful children's book by Britta Teckentrup. It is the story of a fox at the end of his life who lays down in the forest to die. All the animals of the forest come and share their memories of the fox. Stories of fox watching bear's cubs, of helping squirrel dig up nuts or playing in the tall grass with rabbit. The book is called The Memory Tree, but it could have been called The Gratitude Tree, as each story is filled with thanksgiving for the kindness of fox and the role he played in the forest and in their lives. This not-so-childish children's book is an example of the Thornton Wilder adage, the highest tribute to the dead is not grief, but gratitude. In the story, a tree grows up where fox died, and it thrives on memories of fox, growing taller and stronger with each grateful recollection. We too are growing trees. The seeds planted in grief and fertilized in gratitude as each year we remember the friends and ancestors, loved ones and family that have gone before. Gratitude and grief don't cancel each other out, says psychotherapist Megan Devine. They sit side by side. Today, we hold the grief of loss in the gently cupped hands of gratitude and remember to say, thank you. It is also our tradition on All Souls Day to light candles for those we remember. Nita is going down to our altar. Mo is going to start with a slideshow of names, and we will read them together as Nita lights a candle for each name. And then I will share the names that we also received this morning. Together we remember Gary Allen, Lisa Baumgardner, Judy Bloom Blanchard, Wayne Carricker, Laura Servin, Cynthia Collins, there's a space in there, Russell Crenshaw, Mary Crouch, Richard Crouch, Seth Evans, Lisa Frame, Susan Frank, Jennifer Hall, Julie Glazer Harrison, Mary Patricia Hazelwood, John Heddens, Marjorie Heddens, Brandon Jones, Charlie Kindleberger, Martina Coker, Warren Lammert, Martha Grimm Leisman, Walter Nathans, Penny Parker, Lawrence Rapp, Megan Jo Rapp, Gloria Ross, Karen Segrist, Amy Lou Wiggin Schmidt, Luna Thwaite, Mary Frances Toots Walsh, Elaine Vizzetti, Calvin Vizzetti, Curtis Vizzetti, Richard Walsh, Ron Webb, Sharon Whitaker, Stuart James Willig, Janet Northrup Pecci, John Dashner, Ellen Dashner, Sam Dashner, Jacob Long, Dan Matthews, Terry Matthews, Charles Edward J., Tom Archer, Betty Jean Field, Mary Ellen Finan, Norma Adams, Michael Kistler, David Roach, Janet Roach, Cal, Robin, Chris, Mary. We remember them.
responsive reading, number 720, but what we're going to do is we're going to do it antiphonally. So this side will start, and then this side will reply, and I'll do both sides. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of skies and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. Our closing hymn is number 336, All My Memories of Love. Please join as you are willing and able.
Okay, this one's tricky too. So it flows. You might want to stop and it keeps going. So Alan's going to play it, and then we'll all sing it together. How's that?
Closing words come from Leah Derlin Jones. For those who came before us, we offer our gratitude and thanks. May their memories be a blessing. May we feel surrounded by their love. As we go forth from this time and place, let us be inspired by their courage, their wisdom, and their dreams. Let us honor them by doing the work of living boldly, loving mightily, and creating heaven on earth. Amen. Blessed be, and go in peace. Please stay for the postlude. Then, as your final act of worship, please turn and invite someone to sit with you at lunch.
Amen.